What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Scary Hour. So yesterday, I rarely chill with family members, but yet last night I decided to go and see a family member of mine. Um, and one of the reasons why I'm a little distant from certain family members is simply because I see people to be very close-minded in my family, sadly enough. I'm the complete opposite of that. I'm more of a kind. I like to lean towards being more open-minded, and I constantly remind myself to be open-minded whenever I'm not. So, um, and then another reason is because they talk a lot of shit. So I just don't even like to put myself in situations like that, because then I'm gonna be talking shit about somebody, and it's like, what's the point of that? But yeah, last night I decided to go see this particular family member, and I love him like a brother, uh, and one thing I've never noticed throughout our friendship slash relationship was that I was always, although I was the oldest, I was always being brung down in some way, shape, or form. So I'm really hot. This light is going crazy right now. But yeah, I would let a lot of things slide. And it's not only with this particular person; it's also with certain friends as well. Where I'm the type of person that you may think it'll be easy for you to bully me type shit, but instead it's like I see what you're doing, but I'm not putting any mind to it, because at the end of the day, we're all grown ups, and I think it makes more sense if I just control the situation. So maybe I could come off as somebody who's very chill, and somebody who you can easily come at. Um, but it's like you got it all the way fucked up. I personally try to stay away from any problems. Therefore, any particular moment where I feel disrespected or where I feel um, belittled, I like to just take it chill and just lean back with it, relax, not over exaggerate, because I can get over exaggerated. Like, I can't be over exaggerating. I can be somebody who drags it, and I'm not trying to be somebody like that. And I know that if I even start doing something about or saying something about the situation, the disrespect or the belittlement, I will bring myself up into that part where I could just end up spazzing or some shit like that. And then next thing you know, one thing leads to another. Then we out here fighting, and then now we get beefing for no fucking reason. Well, for reasons, but for reasons that could have been handled differently. You feel me? So but yeah, last night was yet one of those moments again, and I can't handle it anymore. I can't be the person. I can't just continue being the bigger person. So what I've decided overnight, because shit like this, decisions like this, as somebody that's really tired of the disrespect and shit like that, can make it overnight. So overnight, I decided to just grow apart from people, certain individuals who I personally see don't want to exceed in life. There's never a right way of exceeding in life. It's never about that. Don't get me wrong. You have to succeed in life the way you gotta get it. You feel me? Like, if you feel like you have to get it how you get it, then you do that. You feel me? But you're not about to do that and then like bring those around you who you claim to love, who you claim to support and show appreciation to, whenever you decide to do that. But yeah, this particular person, um, there's been times obviously where one of the reasons why why I was still around was just because there'd be times where it would be genuine times where the person would show and express themselves and their feelings towards me in a way that, like in a loving and caring way, in a way that's letting me know, um, I got your back or whatnot. But then again, it's like letting me know, oh, but between us, I'm the bigger person. I'm not gonna let nobody else fuck with you, but between us, I'm the bigger person. In that kind of way. So before I even decide to say anything to the person, I'd rather talk to you guys about it, just because this is very therapeutic to me. This is something that I built from the ground up in order to be able to do such thing that we're currently doing at this very moment. But yeah, it sucks that I have to deal with somebody like this, especially because I'm the type of person who doesn't do that. I'm not the type of person who talks behind your back and stabs your back. I'm not that type of person. I'm not the type of person to. I mean, that's if I fuck with you. Like if you're like a loved one, then yeah, you feel me. Other than that, if I don't know you like that, I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck what I do behind your back. I don't know you like that. So for me to be caring, for me to be giving a fuck. But anyways, for a loved one, I would never do such thing. I would never bring you down. I would always be. That's how I am. I would always be the type of person who uplifts you and tries to give you different aspects to looking at things and shit like that. But instead, it gets taken the wrong way and taken as a joke, instead of actually getting appreciated. Because I would wish to have somebody in my friend group and my family group to give me the same energy that I give to others around me. Therefore, that's why it just took overnight for me to just decide that I want to move on from people like that. That I don't want anything to do with anybody who doesn't look to succeed in life. Maybe not succeed, because everybody wants to succeed. So that's the wrong word choice. I apologize for that. What I mean to say is somebody who doesn't look to uplift others around them. And it's like, why deal with somebody like that? I don't have to deal with somebody like that whatsoever. I don't care whether you're family or not. I choose to deal with it because I'm giving you chances upon chances. But it's like, if that's the case, I might as well. And I'm giving you these chances, and you're not taking these chances. You're not getting the hint. Instead, you're taking me. You're not understanding me and taking me as a joke, taking me like I'm this little boy who is more who's just a kid who hasn't grown up all the way yet. Because at the end of the day, whatever your experiences are in life, your mind, if you're under 25, your mind will always be undeveloped. Your mind has not fully developed. You do not know what's the right thing to do. Nobody does, even when it is developed. So for you to say that you are a better person or bigger person than I am, it's just so self-centered. It's very it's a very dickhead move. It's very cocky. It comes off a really horrible way. And I don't deal with shit like that. I just choose not to. So in this particular story, what I'm trying to tell you is that last night when I was chilling with this particular person, I kept getting these little messages, not through text or anything like that. We're in person, but these little hints that are hints sent towards me in order to check me in a way that, yo, you don't know what you're talking about. You never do. So shut the fuck up. And that's the way I see it. It's like this person decided to talk about how they are more of a man than I am because of their experiences in life. And number one, the first disrespect off of that statement, as if it isn't as disrespectful as it is already, but the delivery, the delivery in which it was said, it was nonchalantly. It was as if we were just supposed to brush right by that statement. Now don't get me wrong. I'm not the type of person to sit here and have a cockfight. I'm not the type of person to sit here and say who and show my dick and be like, yo, who got the bigger one? You feel me? I'm not that type of person whatsoever. At the end of the day, I feel like what makes you a matured human being is somebody who knows what to do in certain situations and doesn't do it just for themselves. They do it for people around them. They do it for the better of things, not just the better of themselves, but the better of the overall thing of the situation. So that's what that's what to me makes me think that somebody has a better understanding of what life is and has a better understanding of who they are as an individual. It's not necessarily that necessarily doesn't mean that you are a better person than the next person. You're just at a stage different than that other person. So yeah, the person proceeded to state that they are the better man because they have kids. They pay. They don't live with their parents anymore. They've been having their own vehicles and all these things that are normal, and that's the difference. These are things and accolades that you should acquire throughout your life, I feel like. And even if you don't, it's fine because everybody grows different. I have a mission to get my own place. I already have my own vehicle, which was a mission of mine as well, but it's already completed. I don't have my own child, but that's not because I don't want one. It's because I can't afford one. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people didn't choose, a lot of young people, to be specific, didn't sit there and say, I want to have a kid, let's have a kid. Some people did, don't get me wrong. If you are that individual, don't feel offended by it. There's a lot of people who are very young, who have had their kids very young. A lot of them didn't choose to have the kid. It just so happened. And at the beginning, people think of it as a mistake. Those kids do. Those kids think that having a kid was a mistake very young or during the process of them being pregnant or having the baby. But then later on in life, obviously they grow to cherish that child and to cherish that little human that you're teaching how to grow up and shit. And your mind and the look of things change. So you start to look at things a little different and you don't see it as a mistake anymore. You see it as a blessing. Well, I think that's where he's at. I think that he has already figured out that his child is a blessing, and decides to belittle those around you. Now, just because you have a child and I don't, doesn't mean that you have had different life experiences. I mean, you have had different life experiences than me, but you doesn't mean that you are a better person because you have had your way of doing things as opposed to mine. I've chosen not to have a child. I've chosen to not move out of my mom's house. I've chosen to choose. I've chosen to dwell on what I want to do as an individual that will make me happy, which is, for now, at this very moment, what we're doing right here. And and build on that and double down on it and literally just grow and try to create something out of this thing that you have in mind that you really want badly to do. I could have been moved out. I could have been had my vehicle. But in due time, things came at the right time, at the perfect time. Because who knows? If I would have gotten a vehicle earlier in my years, I probably would have been paying higher in car insurance, for example. If I would have moved out, I would have been in a situation that I didn't feel happy in, uncomfortable in. So just because you were thrown in that situation, as opposed to me, where I took my time with things, just because you were thrown into your situations, don't try to flip that and think that the right way to think about your situation is by belittling other people around you and bringing them down and just making them feel a little less about their situation just because they took their time with their shit. And if you have people around you telling you exactly what you think, then you're around the wrong group of people. If people are sitting there telling you that know me, that know you, that sit there and telling you, oh yeah, but then at the end of the day, bro, like you are more of a man than him, cause you got your own kid, you got your own place, you got your own whip, bro. At the end of the day, this isn't I could have the same mentality about my situation, and I choose to not do that. That's the difference between me and the individual I am currently speaking about. I'm somebody that has matured in such a drastic way that I myself drive myself crazy thinking about it and how drastic of a change I've made throughout the past couple years. And it's like, I don't sit here tooting my own horn telling you how better of a person I am and how I'm a man, more of a man than you are, and how my situation is way better than yours, because you don't need that in your life. You don't need me to tell you that. What's that gonna do to you? That's only gonna put fuel in the fire. That's not gonna do anything that'll benefit you. That's not anything that'll give you any type of motivation. If it does give you motivation, it's the wrong kind of motivation, because by the time that you use that motivation to move upward, you're going to throw it all up in my face, because you're going to remember that time just like I'm remembering this time. And these conversations I will not be able to have face to face with an individual, because people don't know how to compose themselves in a situation, in a confrontational situation. Because it's very difficult. I myself struggle with it as we speak. I struggle with confrontation as we speak. So I'm in my own safe bubble. I'm in my own safe space at this current moment. Therefore, I know what I have to say. I know how I feel. I know how the things how to express the things that I feel. So that was something that was bothering me overnight, y'all. And I had to get it all off of me. And like I said earlier, this isn't necessarily only towards that individual. It's also around certain friend groups that I have, or my friend group that I have, to be exact, because I don't have many friends. So I want to grow out of people. I want to grow out of individuals that don't want to better themselves, that just want to be regular. And there's no problem with being regular. I'm not sitting here judging you for wanting to be the average, part of the average. There's no problem with that. That you choose to live your life how you choose to live your life. But me personally, I don't want to be part of the average. Therefore, if I'm surrounded by average wannabe people, then I'm going to be average. If I decide to put myself alongside winners and people who think about shit themselves and look to always and push themselves, not just sit in the room crying about their situation, and that's fine too, but it's a difference between people that sit there in the room crying about their situation and then wake up the next morning and do it, as opposed to people who cry in their room and then the next day they just stay in that same room and order Uber Eats, DoorDash, and just eat their situation away. I don't understand. I'm in a situation where my mind is currently developing. Um, so my ideologies and my train of thoughts completely maybe a very different way that you can like look at and be like, well, I don't agree with you. Essentially what I'm saying is that my ideology, my train of thought may not correlate to yours. And that's completely fine because I'm not sitting here trying to persuade you to think my way. I'm here expressing myself how I feel so that you can understand how I feel. And I myself have grabbed things from other people that I've learned from others who have had way more experiences than me, and who are living their life based off their experiences, and who are way older than me. And I've taken some things that they've said and use it upon myself that that are very valuable till this day, and I use till this day. But yeah, I don't know. It's a little weird, y'all. It's a little weird even just having us talk about this, because you would think that I wouldn't say anything like that. I wouldn't try to belittle anybody around me. And if I did, it would be in a way that I didn't even realize at the moment. And you definitely best believe hear an apology coming from my way. So enough of the story. Enough of that. I give it a little too much time, but this, like I said, is very therapeutic to me. I feel very good, and I feel very good talking about it. And now that I've expressed that, now that it's here on record, literally, I feel like an empty tank. I'm Gucci. I'm all right. I'm chilling. Yeah. This past week, I live in New York, so IDA hit the storm. I don't even know what it stands for. I forgot to look it up, but everybody's calling it Ida. So I don't know if it's the name, just the name Ida. I think it is. I think that's just the name. Ida storm hit, and a lot of people got like flooded. I heard like about 26 people died. It's just fucking crazy. But it's crazy to think about like how this kind of flood would affect people in like the 1700s. Like that 26 people that passed in this flooding would have been times 5 or so in a little bit village or something. So it's crazy, but yeah, it was a world breaking record for like the most flooding that we've ever seen in New York City. So I don't know about other places, but here in New York City, we really have never seen it like that. The last time we saw it like that, I think it was Sandy. That's the worst, and I didn't even hit it. I didn't even feel it because I was all the way in the Bronx. I think if I'm not mistaken, Sandy was hitting really hard. Long Island, I believe, or Staten Island, one of those places. Jersey Shore really got it bad. So, those people, that side of New York really got it really bad. So I'm not sure. But this one we really felt because I have loved ones around me whose apartments got really flooded, and I had to see those people like not sleep in their house that night. So it was very uncomfortable. It was very worrisome, and me not being able to do anything about it because it's literally a no drive zone outside because of you could potentially get washed in your vehicle. I came across an intersection that was flooded with the vehicles. You could just see the sunroof in certain vehicles, and then in like certain 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 streets were flooded, certain apartment buildings were flooded. There were highways that had multiple dozens of vehicles flooded. So it sucks. Thank the Lord we recovered within a couple of days. We just all the water is gone. The vehicles, you'll still see some vehicles off to the road, on the side of the road. But I'm really happy that we're moving on from it, and that there weren't any more casualties. I just hope that people who have lost a lot in their homes could some way get like any kind of government help towards them, because it is a natural disaster, so it's like, especially for people who live in the like basements and shit, I don't feel like anybody should live in a basement. It's just like, here in New York, there's so many fucking people that it's just like, fuck it, Let's create some open spaces here in the basement, and let's just call it apartments. But I don't know, man. Yeah, it's just it's very unfortunate. It's very there were people making jokes about it. This shit. People are so corny. I don't even understand. I'm corny myself, but yo, there's some jokes that you have to like restrain from, or refrain from is the right word. Refrain from, because it's like, yo, this joke is not gonna get a laugh out of people. Like, it's just not that funny. Like, I like to be corny, don't get me wrong, but I'm the type of person like that likes to be corny in a way that it's so corny it's making you laugh. But who knows? Maybe that's just not my type of humor. Moving on from that. Don't kill me, but I still have yet to listen to Donda. It's just not calling my name, bro. I ain't gonna lie. You know what? I got a whip now, so I'm gonna just start. I'm gonna start playing it in the whip. I'm gonna force myself to listen to it. I know, and I'm pretty sure it got good ass music. I just don't like Kanye. And I'm pretty damn sure it got good music. It got some songs that I'm gonna be like, damn, that shit heat. But I just don't fuck with Kanye, yo. I ain't gonna lie though. I listened to Drake's album, Certified Lover Boy. I listened to that entire album the morning I woke up. That morning that he dropped it. Dropped it at 2 in the morning. I woke up at like 8. And as soon as I woke up, I seen, oh shit, he dropped. I forgot. Yeah. I grabbed my headphones. My girl was sleeping inside of me. I didn't want to wake up, so I just like grabbed my headphones, put it on, and listened to the entire album. I feel like the features on this. Now, what I've seen, look, before I even get into that, what I've seen based off a post I saw about Donda, the amount of features that there was in that bitch, I was like, God damn. So it's like, what, every song got a feature? Like, there's not one song with just Kanye in it or some shit? Like, what the fuck? But I don't know. I haven't listened to the entire album. Now, with Drake, there's a few features. There's not as many as Donda's. There's not as many as there is in Donda, but there is enough to where it's doable. And now that I even think about it, I don't even think Drake got one song with just himself in it. I don't even know. I didn't even realize that. But yeah, the Jay-Z feature, the fucking surprised the shit out of me. Because as y'all know, as some people, if you're a Drake fan, you'll know that, Drake and Jay-Z had their differences back then. And then they weren't getting along. But I'm assuming, yeah, it's been a while now since that. But it was just, the feature kind of threw me off because I know that also Jay-Z is in Donda. So, I mean, but then again, so is Lil Baby. Lil Baby's in Donda, and he is also in CLB. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that shit surprised me. But he killed it. Hov definitely killed it. He did his thing in that feature. I feel like the features, all of the features, are really good on Certified Lover Boy. I also feel that they transcend Drake even more than he's already in. Like, I don't know how to put it. Like, uh, Drake is you would just like look at Drake. Yeah, like there were certain albums that you would just be like, oh, this wasn't it. It was probably like one or two albums. But those were like at the middle of his career. With this Certified Lover Boy, people are happy. The fact that this man got what, 15 years? Almost 15 years. He got like 14 years in the game, killing shit. He's been killing shit since 2008. And the fact that he's still delivering at such a high pace, like such a high rate, like the people still fucking with his shit, like it's crazy. That's why I feel like the features and the music that he makes are transcending him even more. If you want me to elaborate on that, what I mean about the features is the selected features that he used in his music. You know, the babe. I said the baby. Lil Baby. He got Hove in there. He managed to have It was just he had a plethora of individuals who have such a big fan base. So you're using he has Travis Scott in there. You know how crazy people are with Travis Scott. You know how the old heads are with Hove. You know how you know how these people are, bro. And he selected these individuals to do music with them. There's a certain type of people that fuck with these people, and dude, it's like he's just so smart. Now, it's because I'm not a fan of Kanye. I'm gonna shit on it. I haven't even listened to it, but I'm gonna be like, based on all of the features, it just looks like he just grabbed people who are popping or have been popping as of late and threw it in his album. But it works because his artistry is so fucking brilliant. This man he knows how to make music. Now Drake is a better rapper than him, which is, why it's given competition. But I don't know, man. And then like, yeah, I don't know. It's just like, and then he also don't give a fuck about shit either, because he was name dropping Aisha Curry in one of the songs. I think it was in TSU, which is a song in Certified Lover Boy. He name dropped her, and him and Curry are actually pretty cool. So I don't know, man. As soon as the album dropped, Curry posted on Twitter like, "Congrats, brother." Like, bro, you should have listened to the entire shit before you even wrote anything, man. Nah, I don't know if anybody's seen LeBron singing along to one of the songs. He looked like he was reading off an iPad. He thought he was low. And even then, he managed to fuck up the lyrics. That's what happens when we don't go to fucking college, boys. Reading level is very low. Drake also had the TSU song. Actually, so it might not even be in the TSU song, the Aisha drop, but in the TSU song, that's actually a sample from R. Kelly. From what I'm reading here, no, he had writing credit. I'm sorry. R. Kelly had writing credit on that song. And, of course, people on Twitter, I swear, bro. I'm gonna stop. I ain't gonna say nothing about people on Twitter because I've said it before. Yo, people just have such a like easier way now to complain, and it's just like, bro, at what point are we gonna sit here and be like, I get it if you, I get it on like listening to R. Kelly is a little iffy because he was pretty vulgar with his music, and it's like, who are you really talking about, nigga? Were you really talking about women or kids? Like, what the fuck? But he just has writing credit, bro. Whatever that means. You feel me? Like, god damn. And people, of course, had a problem with it. And you know, whatever. I don't know. People so fucking and that's the thing with like, I like to say, you know, this generation is very soft, but the only reason I say that is because the last generation and before didn't have the ability to express themselves the way we do. Motherfuckers didn't have a phone. Motherfuckers didn't have a way to post on social media. Motherfuckers didn't have video easily, like video from the palm of your hand, like to record and take pictures of shit. So it's like, obviously, you know, I feel like there were Karens back in the 80s and the 90s. There were people who completely went out their way to just ruin a company and complain their asses off. But it just took 5 times the try that it does now. So it's like, I don't know. They were like, "Bro, people are so fucking soft in this generation," and I sound like that too. Don't get me don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. But that is why. It's because your generation didn't have phones, bro. Your generation had beepers, bro. Your generation was like that's when Motorola was kicking off and shit. Don't do that. You can't record a Motorola, I think. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Like, I don't get it. I don't know. Like, it's just questions like, what are the rules? You know. I don't know. But yeah, that's CBO. A little bit of Donda. That's the thing too. Like, Donda left a lot of artists out. People are leaking that. Oh, and now that I remember, actually, Drake, the day after dropping CLB, he decides to leak a couple songs. I think it was just 1 or 2 songs that Kanye created to diss Drake. And that is fucking the chess pieces. This man is wildin'. This is why, bro. This is why. I think they should just quit the beefing and just like work together on a whole album. Or whatever you want to call it, on an EP, whatever. You could work on shit, and it's like, you know, you got the rapping ability there between the two of y'all. Y'all got the the producing shit. He makes great music. He raps great songs, bro. That's perfect. I don't know. And it's like, yo, the amount of artists that released their versions that got like taken off for Donda. That shit is crazy. The amount of artists that was just like, oh, so y'all not gonna post my shit? Yo, this is how my shit sounds, fans. And a lot of people are not fucking with Kanye. And I'm one of them. So let's move on from this topic. Yeah, I don't know. I seen I don't know much about this story, but Lil NasX pregnancy. I don't know if he's doing it for like a cover photo, whatnot, for like an album or a song. I don't follow his shit like that, so I don't know. I'm not really sure. Excuse me for that. But Boosie's obsession with Lil NasX gayness is ridiculous. Yo, Boosie really be getting tight at all the gayest shit that this man does, bro. Like, just let the man be. What the fuck? Like, he said some crazy shit, and I forgot what it was, but it just, at this point, it just sounds like he wanted to get some action with Lil NasX. I don't know. But it's looking like obsession and disgust at the same time with Lil NasX gayness, and it's just like I don't really. It's a little weird. Given to somebody who is trying to bash him for just over like really stepping down and doubling down on being gay. It's a little weird, but you know, Lil Nas X is a troll himself, so he be riding along with the wave. At the end of the day, any publicity is good publicity. So I don't know. Yeah, man. There's not much that really have happened. I haven't really spoken much about NBA basketball lately, so we could definitely start getting into that. And off rip, we're gonna start off with the Nets picking up Paul Millsap and LaMarcus Aldridge. So for those of you who don't know, LaMarcus Aldridge left. I think it was during the post season or during the regular season. I'm not sure. For some heart conditions, he had problems with his heart, so he couldn't play basketball anymore. So I think he ended up claiming that he was retiring. And then now came back from retirement a couple months later. And he's getting, I think, 2.6 from the Nets, 2.6 mil. And Paul Millsap is a great pickup for the Nets. I forgot where he came from. I think he came from Denver, but he wasn't doing shit in Denver. So we'll see. You know, we'll see how that works. But they released DeAndre Jordan, or they didn't release him. I'm sorry. They traded him to the Pistons, to Detroit Pistons, for I think it was like 4 picks and then like 2 players. So, you know, they kind of didn't lose in that situation. You're getting a whole lot for this one piece. But then the Pistons dropped and released DeAndre Jordan and put him in the buyout market. And now the Lakers picked him up. He chose to go to the Lakers as well. So it was like a mutual decisions. But yeah, that shit was crazy to me. I was so excited. Y'all know how much I fuck with LeBron. So it's like the fact that we having somebody other than what's this guy's name? Marc Gasol is amazing to me, because the problem what I have with Marc Gasol is his physical abilities to do things. Now, don't get me wrong, on the court, mentally, this man's IQ is really high up there. One of the best in the Lakers roster, going with LeBron, you know, like his mentality is amazing. His IQ is crazy. But, you know, he can't really run up and down them courts like that. You feel me? He can't jump. He doesn't jump that high. It's just he's literally there for great passes and IQ. So it's like at this moment now we actually can't afford to drop him. You feel me? And then but it's so crazy to me, the combination between DeAndre Jordan and Dwight Howard. What? Like, I don't know, bruh. And I wanted that DeAndre Jordan trade from the beginning, from the moment that the Clippers started releasing all of their big 3. Once the Clippers started releasing Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, and DeAndre Jordan, I wanted DeAndre Jordan to be with Bron, when Bron was in Cleveland and whatnot, because I know how well LeBron excels with a great pick and roll center. Now, you know, he then later on got matched up with Dwight Howard, which worked, spontaneously. And Dwight Howard finally got a ring. Now it's DeAndre Jordan's turn. You feel me? It's gonna be lit, yo. I'm really excited. I'm really happy for that. I really fuck with, and I feel like the Nets didn't use DeAndre Jordan the way they should have. You know, the fire that Dwight Howard has within himself to go at it play after play, I feel like will fuel DeAndre Jordan to do the same, coming off the bench or whatnot. And it also means that the rumor of Anthony Davis potentially having to be forced to play the center a little bit because it was just Dwight Howard and Marc Gasol is completely deaded now that DeAndre Jordan is in the Lakers. So having those two fucking centerpieces right there is such a fucking upside. Like, it's crazy. It's coming to, I wouldn't understand as to why people would choose any other team as the favorites for the 2021-2022 season. I really don't. I feel like if that's the case, then it's just like delusional motherfuckers or haters. But it's like the way that we're stacked right now is ridiculous. And then for those people who always try to discredit the rings that LeBron gets because he's always in a team that has a lot of really good players, it's like, bruh, there were teams around that were doing the same shit. Just because Bron moved chess pieces and he was playing chess, not checkers, doesn't mean, and it eventually worked in his favor, doesn't mean that his shit should just get discredited. Yes, he started the whole Big Three movement. Don't get me wrong. He did. But then so did other teams follow along. Like, other teams definitely got on that ass and literally followed the footsteps that he was doing. Like, everything that he was doing. So, all of that shit that y'all talking about, I don't know about. You feel me? Like, at the end of the day, the man knows what he's doing when he wants and who he wants. So, and it works in the favors. People just do it just to like, oh, they got a 3-pointer? Okay, let's get somebody who can shoot the three ball very well. Somebody that can guard that man that they got right now. Yeah? Okay, great. Awesome. Oh, they got a center? Okay, let's look for a 7-footer. Where can we find a really good 7-footer? Oh, he's 6'10"? Fuck. Ah, man, I don't know. Fuck it. Pick him up. Yes. All right, look. You see all the fucking media we having on us? Yeah, that's because we're trying to compete with them. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like every team that LeBron goes to is just championship contender off rip, because you do know that the fucking front office is gonna listen to what he wants and what he wants to do. And what's the problem with that? If it's been working in his career, it's gonna work for the rest of the staff's career. I don't know what's the problem with that. Yo, people just be hating. People just be ready to violate, ready to just discredit you in any moment. Just like there's people who will eventually discredit you as an individual. Me. Everybody. You feel me? I found myself in situations before where I've had moments where I've seen me low-key hating and trying to discredit somebody. And it wasn't right. You feel me? It wasn't right at all. But here we go. This has been another episode of Scary Hour. Thank you guys so much for listening all throughout. If you have, especially, please, drop a like, subscribe. Check us out on YouTube if you haven't yet for the visual context of the visual side of the podcast. Check us out on Apple Podcasts and also in Spotify. So we also have him on Buzzsprouts as well. I understand a lot of people don't use that one, but yeah, all those 4 platforms. Thank you guys so much for yet another week. I hope your last week was amazing, and I hope this week coming up is even better than that. So enjoy, stay true to yourself, nobody else, and much love.